Hey everybody, welcome to the Dex, where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Rising Star Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz. Happy 4th of July, everyone! Yay!
Well, actually, Kelz, that was yesterday.
What? Really?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't seem right. It was on a Monday?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Why?
Mondays suck.
Yeah.
I did all this research.
Well, buck up, champ. Who says we can't talk about the 4th on the 5th? That wouldn't be very free, would it?
You know what? You're right. Grab your baseball and your apple pie because we're gonna talk about America today, boy.
Oh.
It's Braviary! Braviary is the valiant Pokemon from Gen 5. It evolves from Rufflet at the uncommonly high level of 54, which is all fine since it's spending so much time fighting for its friends anyway. It barely has any time to think of itself.
Yep. Braviary is the Pokemon of honor and loyalty who never gives up until those they love are safe. And the more scars they have, the more their fellow Braviary respect them. And they're strong, too. Apparently, they can carry a car in their talons with ease, even though they weigh like 90 pounds. What's up with that?
And if it wasn't obvious already, Braviary's name is a pun on the words brave because of its courage and other Gryffindor-esque qualities, and aviary, which is basically a giant walk-in bird cage. And it comes in turn from avian, which means pretty much anything related to birds.
And speaking of birds, Braviary draws much of its inspiration from eagles, in particular the bald eagle. And since its home region of Unova is kind of an analog for the old US of A, and the bald eagle is both our national bird and our national animal, yes, those are two separate titles, it totally makes sense. Plus he's totally red, white, and blue, so like, duh.
Yeah, and it's not just because the bald eagle lives in America either. As a symbol, whether on a coat of arms, in Native American culture, or on the official seal of the United States, the eagle is associated with the following concepts: opportunity, protection, guardianship, masculinity, dominance, control, freedom, community, command, action, authority, skill, focus, determination, vision, power, liberation, inspiration, judgment. See? For better or worse, that's pretty much America's vibe, right? Oh, and by the way, have you seen Hamilton? I've been really crazy about it lately, and looking into Braviary is getting the soundtrack stuck in my head again. Yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
Okay, what was that?
What, Hamilton?
Yeah, you getting all fine arts on me again?
What? I can't help it if I'm cultured, you plebe. You pleb?
Ow.
Right? Well, speaking of culture, it's time for this week's ridiculous segment. Don't you know that the Eagles' time as a symbol started way before America did?
Do now.
Good enough. And now all of you can learn too, because it's time for this week's Culture Shock.
Ow!
What?
Oh, no, just because it's a culture shock. Like really, who would we be if we didn't give proper credit to the people who lived in America before the colonists? We'd be giant buttheads, that's what we'd be. Which is why we're not gonna ignore the systematic repression of Native Americans by European colonists. We're not proud that that happened, but we're also not going to argue about it here because guys, we're an educational kid show about Pokemon, but it's important to learn about all the cultures that make up America, so let's get in it.
So in addition to being such an American eagle it can make a killing selling affordable jeans, Braviary's head feathers are suggestive of a war bonnet, which is a feather headdress worn by members of various American Plains Indian tribes who have earned great respect among their people. Also, they're traditionally meant to be worn by men, which explains why literally every Braviary is male. Really, Google it.
In many Native American cultures, the presentation of an eagle feather is one of the highest honors you can receive, since it means you've displayed outstanding courage or honor. It's so prestigious that a single tribesman might not even get more than 2 or 3 in their lifetime, so a full headdress is usually only reserved for the highest leader in the tribe.
In fact, many tribes consider wearing headdresses without the exclusive permission from tribal leaders to be a mockery of their culture. It's a super serious and meaningful part of the tribe, and never for a second were they intended for fashion, costume, or fun. So with that said, does that make Braviary's design insensitive or respectful?
Truthfully, I don't really know, but think about this. It's not always easy to understand the true meaning behind symbols, especially when they're from a culture other than your own. Which is why the best we can hope for is to try our best to always be respectful of everyone's culture and reserve judgment until we have fully educated ourselves about them.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
It's the 5th.
Happy Mew Discovery Day, everyone.
Is it?
Google it.
All right. But first, I gotta share the battle strats with the people. Gen 6 Braviary training tips start right now.
Pokemon!
Braviary's HP and attack stats are totally crazy, but unfortunately the rest of it's not much to sneeze at. But who says that means we can't make this thing a serious threat? This is America, isn't it? Start with an adamant one and super train it in attack and speed.
You're gonna want to do as much damage as possible, so give Braviary a sharp beak to hold, and then lean heavily on stab moves like Brave Bird or Return for pretty decent coverage.
You can also toss superpower on there for when you absolutely need it, but in that last slot, you gotta go with Roost to recoup some of the HP you're gonna be losing to Brave Bird. Lucky you have that solid natural HP.
Basically, just use this build to get in and bop as many people in the face as you can, but lean a little towards the overly safe side when it comes to switching out. And speaking of switching, try to get in on an Intimidate since Braviary has this great on-theme ability in Defiant, which boosts your attack 2 stages whenever someone lowers your stats. It's like haters make you stronger.
And that's that. But of course, that's not the only way to train a Braviary, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Another way to go with this set is to boost it with a Choice Band, but you gotta be extra careful since it locks you into one move, so swap Roost for U-turn if you need to pivot.
If you're constantly getting outsped, Choice Scarf is also viable if you want to go with a more speed-friendly build, thanks to Braviary's natural base attack power.
And speaking of natural base stats, if you want to use that HP to go with a bulkier build, try a substitute and bulk up strategy. It can end matches if you catch them off guard properly.
And finally, Braviary also has Defog to help you deal with walls that depend on stat boosts, but the only real logical place to put it is in place of Return, so use this strat sparingly because it's kind of risky.
And that's it, Braviary. You know, I really do love the 4th of July.
Right? For more videos from the America-esque Unova region, click here, or if you'd rather check out our weekly Dex podcast, there's hours and hours of it to put on while you work if you click right here. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm Rising Star Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz. Tune in next week for another beautiful episode of
The Dex.